Hello, everybody. Welcome to Reserve Seating. We are in week 3 of our Junesploitation celebration, and we are covering a free space day. So
Do whatever you want.
really
Free
do
space.
whatever you want. But if you're stuck and you're
hmm
just scrolling through different streaming services and you're like, what should I watch? This isn't as fun as watching a movie.
No,
I'm tired of scrolling. Rob and I have some recommendations of stuff we've watched earlier in the month that would apply to Free Space Day that you could watch
you watch for any day.
any
That's why
day.
it's free.
Yeah,
It's a free space.
it's a free space. Maybe if you're into rhyming, make it Lee Pace Day.
Reserve seating starts right now. Adam, start us off with your first free space recommendation.
Okay, so I have the privilege of being able to watch some Junesploitation movies with the Bromleys.
Hmm.
And on Magic Day, Patrick introduced me to The Dungeon Master, which is an Empire Pictures movie from 1984 with about 11 directors and it's like 75 minutes, but it's got like a new director every scene. And basically what it is there's this guy who is like a tech dude and he builds his own computer and then he gets sucked into like I guess a video game or something or like a parallel dimension and he has to battle a sorcerer named Mystima played by Richard Mall or Bull from Night Court.
Yes.
And he looks like if you took Richard Mall and mixed him with Terry Gilliam. And he sounds exactly like the Wishmaster. So I loved it for that reason. But he issues a bunch of challenges, and this dude has to pass like 10 different challenges, and each challenge has a different scene and different director. So
Okay.
sometimes you're in like a slasher movie, sometimes you're in a Mad Max movie, sometimes you're in like a movie like Jason and the Argonaut. Sometimes you're in like a cave with a werewolf. Sometimes you're in a cave with like a ghoulie. It like makes no sense. But he solves all of the challenges basically by just going like this and shooting a laser at something. I'm not spoiling it because it's the journey that's what matters. It's a ridiculous movie, but it's my kind of silly bullshit. I
No.
had a great time watching The Dungeon Master.
All right. My first recommendation for folks. Let's see. What did I watch this on? I watched this on Heist Day. We had a Heist Day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, early on. This was a big one I needed to check off my list, kind of a movie shame, which was Jonathan Glazer's Sexy Beast. I had seen it in pieces over the years. Like I'd seen the big airport scene with Ben Kingsley, and I'd seen like a couple other bits of it, the sort of things you're supposed to know about that movie, but I'd never kind of front to backed it. And it was great. I mean, it was exactly what I thought it would be. I really liked that it was obviously dialogue driven, character forward, all the silly bullshit that I love, but that it had the heist in there. The heist is only like a few minutes of the movie, so it touches on the heist, but then mostly focuses on the characters. Obviously, the performances and stuff are so well known, and Ray Winston is it was kind of a lot of people's first, not everybody's, but a lot of people's first look at
First
heist.
Crush.
Again, one just checking a movie shame off my list. And then the other one, just watching something that's heist related but more character driven. So I loved it. I thought it was really great. Obviously, it's one of those things where it's like, well, yeah, of course, it's this great movie, and now you've seen it. So, all
All
right,
right,
what's
so
that?
my next pick, I'm gonna skip to later in the month because
Okay.
I want to save the my favorite for last of the
Right.
three. So I'll go to Revenge Day. I watched The Substitute, which
Nice.
is a movie I've seen before, but I didn't remember anything about. And it's directed by Robert Mandel. I watched Sniper earlier in the month for the first
Mhm.
time. And I had a sneaking suspicion after watching The Big Chill with you and Jan about a year ago, where I'm like, I think I'm a huge Behringer guy. And he's really good in Sniper. He's like a duck to water in Sniper in
Okay.
that kind of role. But like in The Substitute, he's so fun, and his relationship with Diane Venora is adorable, but it's like housed in this like grungy exploitation movie, like a total like HBO type movie where it's like, how do we solve school violence? I don't know, send in a bunch of mercenaries because these people are beyond the pale. So like there's like a drug outfit that's going out of like the basement of the school with school buses, and Mark Anthony's a villain, Ernie Hudson's a villain, you got Glenn Plummer in there, and it's just it's really fun just seeing a bunch of mercs taking down evil kids in school. I want to watch some of the sequels because I got like a 4-pack where Treat Williams took over for Tom Berenger in the sequels, and yeah, I got to keep going.
All right, so my next recommend is a new movie, actually, 2025, which is
Okay.
Eli Craig's Clown in a Cornfield, which I
Oh, I wanted to
believe
see
is
that.
Shutter original. It's in theaters, right? It got a theatrical release.
It definitely got a theatrical release. It's on PVOD right now.
It's on PVOD. Okay, so I went into this just because I had a screener of it, and it was like kind of like, hey, I'm hearing people talking about this movie, and really enjoyed it. An inventive slasher. It's doing the cutesy like Scream meta thing where it's like, hey, these kids are kind of sort of aware of the tropes, but it's not doing it in a way that is it's not sneering, if that makes
Mhm.
sense. It's doing it in a way that doesn't feel too we're above it. It's not the materialists where it's like, no, I'm too good to be a romantic comedy. The materialist absolutely is a romantic comedy. It's just a really bad one. The twist, I don't want to sort of talk too much about the setup of it because the setup invokes kind of where the twist goes in the back half of the movie. But I really enjoyed the lead actress, Katie Douglas. She's a movie star. She's in I Like Movies, which you have recommended to me a bunch of times,
Yeah,
and which I still have not seen yet. But it's definitely
good
on
movie.
my list. Yeah. And she's a movie star. She's great. You can tell right away about her. She's really naturalistic, really fun. She plays the final girl. There's a great, great, great joke involving a rotary phone that I won't spoil for anybody. That made me literally like laugh out loud. I thought it was so funny. It was such a great way to solve the problem of how do you make a slasher or really any kind of like horror movie in the age of cell phones?
Mm.
How do Zoomers kind of fit into this whole thing if they can call anybody anytime? I thought it was really creative, really well put together, really fun. So that's again, it's Clown on the Cornfield, Clown in a Cornfield, excuse me. The director is Eli Craig, and as you said, I think it's available on PVOD. I think I watched it for a free space, our last free space day.
So my last pick is a movie I was pleasantly surprised by because I was expecting it to maybe be kind of a soggy prison drama from the late 80s from Touchstone Pictures.
Mm.
But in turn, or instead, I got a Banana Pants prison comedy slash drama slash action movie, and that's An Innocent Man,
Ah,
starring Tom Selleck. So let me give you kind of the setup of it and sell the movie to you. So Tom Selleck works at an airline, and he's like one of those guys who's like on the ground and he's going like this and waving the planes in and stuff like that. And he's just at home, just chilling, and these like rogue, dirty cops who like are they have snitches and they try to like get more drug busts, and it seems like they get like 4 or 5 drug busts a night. Like they just have like a pipeline where they're just like, we gotta, it's like Glenn Ross. It's like we gotta close this bust.
okay.
And by the way, the cops are played by the dad from Bingo and not Indiana Jones from the beginning of Indiana Jones and the Last
Oh, I
Crusade.
know that guy.
And they so like Tom Selleck lives on like Oak Street,
Okay.
but then they go to like, and then these guys are supposed to do the bust on like Oak Lane, so they just go to the wrong house. And then they bust into his house and they're just like, freeze, motherfucker. And then Tom Selleck has like a hair dryer in his hand. So they shoot him. And then to cover up the crime, when they figure out they got the wrong address, they're just like, lay all the drugs on him. Put the gun in his hand and pretend like he was shooting at us. So instead of like taking any responsibility for this, they just frame him. he gets like waylaid in court, and then he goes to jail. He goes to jail. It's like 80% Ernest goes to jail, 20% Shawshank while he's in jail. Red, the Morgan Freeman character, is played by F. Murray Abraham. Um, and Tom Selleck is like, prison cannon fodder at the
Yeah.
beginning, but then he defeats like the big bad in prison, and then he starts slicking back his hair and buttoning his shirt up all the way to like show that he's like the kingpin of the prison now.
Awesome. Right.
But then like there's a whole third act where he's out of prison and he's trying to take down the dirty cops who framed him.
Mhm. Okay.
And it's fucking fantastic.
All
I
right.
just like he's so miscast, but it's so funny. It's really, really I had a great time watching this movie.
I have to watch this now. All right, so my last one, I'm closing another gap, and Patrick is going to be happy with this one. I texted him about it when I was watching it, but I finally got to see Dwight H. Little's Rapid Fire, which is like
Oh my God.
perfect Junesploitation movie. A perfect entry into the F this movie canon. Obviously, I was going.
Hmm.
I was like, occasionally when I finally get around to a movie that I know that you or John or Patrick or anybody has talked a lot about on the podcast, I'll go into our little archive and look to see like let me read their article about it. And I went to read what Patrick had written about Rapid Fire in the past, and Patrick, you've written about Rapid Fire like 16 times. And I read all of them the other day. I went there and read all your
Yeah.
articles and pieces on Rapid Fire, and you guys also had a discussion about Rapid Fire, a back and forth, you and Patrick. So I was like totally primed to love Rapid Fire, and I loved it. It's great. It's just the perfect kind of early '90s, like specifically early '90s, like Asian influenced kind of B
Hmm.
action cinema. You know what I mean? Like the kind
Yeah.
of thing where like we didn't do I'm really noticing the distinction between sort of the '80s kind of indulgent Reagan era kind of action and the sort of like early to mid '90s kind of like Hong Kong influence B level action movies. You know what I mean? Where everyone is like is fighting, fisticuffs and all that. And I mean, it was great. It was so much fun, and it's one of those movies that just gives you all the things you want and made me mourn Brandon Lee and again, go and read any of Patrick or Adam's writing about Rapid Fire because it's a perfect exploitation movie, and I had a hell of a lot of fun with it.
I always love in action movies where it's just like, I'm your dad now.
Yeah, yeah,
That's like kind of the relationship between Powers Booth and Brandon Lee in this movie. Well, thank you, Rob. And everybody share what your plans are for Free Space Day or like some of the highlights that you've had from your Junesploitation watching. I mentioned this is the third episode of Junesploitation. We got one more left. We're back next week with Eurosploitation, and
yes.
we're gonna watch Day of Anger, which is a Lee Van Cleef movie that
Mhm.
I've never heard of, but I like Lee Van Cleef. So until next time,
DC.
um,
Good.
damn it. Hold on. No, I didn't really have anything. All right, so I'll do it again. Until next time,
Wait, was I going to say these seats are reserved?
we should just end it right here.
Happy exploitation, everybody.
Happy Exploitation.
See you soon.
Maybe in July we'll know how to close these episodes out.